this morning. I want to do a little video on tankless water heaters. So this is our Furion tankless water heater. It's actually running right now. That's what it looks like inside. So a couple things with these. First of all, there is a power switch right here that has to be on for it to work. Second, there is a fuse right there. If you ever have a problem with one not working, could be that the power switch is shut off or the fuse is blown. This runs on 12 volts. You can see in the back there the flame. And the way this works, that copper area is your heat exchanger. And so you've got water flowing through those tubes around that heat exchanger, picking up heat from the combustion and going directly to your plumbing. So in addition to the power switch outside at the tankless water heater itself, there's also a power switch at your control panel. Now on our control panel, it happens to be in our bathroom, which I think is a good location. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. And you can see I have it set at 115 degrees. A lot of people set these too high. Most people find that showering, it's most comfortable someplace between 108 and 114, 115 degrees. So ideally you want to set this for the temperature that you actually want the water to be. Don't think that setting it for 120 or 130 and then you're going to mix some cold water in is going to be better. It's not. It's actually going to defeat your purpose. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the hot water on here at the sink. You can see that it's going to light up. It senses water flow, and that's one of the key things you've got to understand about tankless water heaters. They need to sense water flow in order to come on. So they have to sense someplace between 0.4 and 0.6 gallons per minute of water flow. And that says, hey, we have a call for hot water. We're going to light. So some of the indicators here, this fan is actually the inducer motor, which pulls the exhaust through the heat exchanger. And obviously the flame is showing that there is flame. And it's showing here that our output temperature is 115 degrees, exactly what we set it for. So I'm going to go ahead and shut off the water. You're going to see that the flame went out. The inducer is going to continue to run for probably 30 seconds to a minute. That is to make sure that all the flue gas is out of the heat exchanger and to help cool the heat exchanger down. But I want to show you a couple things that people are doing wrong with these. So the right way to use this is when you go to take a shower, you turn on the hot water. Do not turn on the cold water. Don't set this thing so hot that you can't stand under the water. Turn on the hot water and shower with just the hot water. If you have to mix a little bit of cold in, go ahead. But here I want to show you, I'm going to turn the hot water back on. So you can see, now the reason it jumped up is because the water was sitting there. As soon as we start bringing fresh water in, it jumped back down. I'm going to slow the flow down on the hot water. This is what happens when you try to set this too high and you try to use half cold water and half hot water. Right now, you can see I still have a stream of water, but it's not enough to tell this to run. So I've got to open this back up. As soon as I do, you can see the water coming out of the thing was 70 degrees. Wouldn't be real comfortable if you're in the shower. You have to use the hot water. So I'm going to let this come up. I'm actually going to mix a small amount of cold water in. which I just did, and we're still good. I'm gonna open the cold all the way up. I opened the cold all the way up, so now the hot and cold are all the way opened, and guess what? Water will take the path of least resistance. It's going to the cold water side instead of going through that heat exchanger. So the water heater says, hey, we don't have enough water flowing. I'm going to shut off the cold water. As soon as I do that, you can see our water temperature dropped down to 66. As soon as I did that, it's firing back up. So that is what people are doing wrong with these. They're not running enough hot water, and they're also setting the temperature too hot. And by setting it too hot, you have to mix too much cold in, and then you're not moving enough water through that heat exchanger to keep the flame on. Okay, so I hope that demonstration showed you that you have to use enough hot water to keep that thing running. If it doesn't detect enough water flowing through the heat exchanger, it will shut off. So a couple things. First of all, how do you use this if you're boondocking? Again, the key is setting the water temperature for the water heater low enough that you can stand under just the hot water. If you do that, you're not going to use too much hot water. The other thing to keep in mind when you turn on the hot water, it does have to push whatever cold water is in the line out before the hot water gets to your shower head or your sink. And that's the same if you have a tank style water heater as well. Last, if you have a tank style water heater, let's just say you have a 6-gallon water heater. The drawback to those is you've got 6 gallons of hot water. The burner's coming on and off all day if you have it turned on to maintain that. And of those 6 gallons, you're only going to get about 4 gallons of hot water, because as you're using that hot water, cold water is going in to replace it, and it doesn't heat it nearly as fast as a tankless water heater. So it's not ideal. With the tankless water heater, if you're using it properly, you could take a shower all day as long as you have enough propane to run that burner all day. Last, I just want to tell you a little bit about myself. For about 37 years, I have sold plumbing, heating, and air conditioning equipment. I have designed systems, I have installed systems, I've repaired systems. I have sold many tankless water heaters for homes and businesses. They work well, but you have to understand how to use them. And the units that are in campers today work on the same principle as the units that are installed in a house. And they really do work well. If you, again, the key things, set your temperature low enough that you can stand under the shower or hold your hand in the sink as the hot water only is running. Typically that's going to be between 108 degrees and 115 degrees. Don't go higher than that. If you do, you're going to mix in cold water and the unit's going to shut off. I hope that this has been helpful. Please comment, ask questions if I can be of any help there. And thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe to watch our other videos. And always remember to plan for tomorrow, but make the most of every day. Thanks, folks.